The School of Engineering and Computer Sciences here at NYIT. It's my pleasure to welcome all participants to this today's Transportation Technology Symposium. At NYIT, we're proud members of the University Transportation Research Center Region 2, and as such, we're happy to continue to collaborate with UTRC to host events such as today's, as well as our Transportation Technology Series. Some of you might have participated at our Transportation Cybersecurity for Transportation in September in conjunction with our annual Cybersecurity Conference. In September, we also co-hosted with UTRC and Berkeley University and CUNY the first ever hackathon for transportation data, and we're soon going to announce the results. And we also participate in research with projects with UTRC, thanks to the funding of UTRC. So today's program is great. I'm hoping you will enjoy, and without further ado, I will introduce Dr. Camille Kanga.
Thank you, Mada, and good morning. On behalf of the University Transportation Research Center and our partners in this symposium, I warmly welcome you all to New York Institute of Technology and this gathering. We are pleased to see you all, and we are excited of what we expect will be an exciting and productive discussion of technology in the transportation field. We have gathered a great group of people who are in the forefront of this program, and you will not be deceived with the quality and the depth of their presentations. For those of you who are not attending UTRC function for the first time, the University Transportation Research Center is a federally funded UTC, University Transportation Center, representing Federal Region 2, and that comprises of New York, New Jersey, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. UTRC is led by CUNY, the City University of New York, and is a consortium of 18 major universities in the region, with mandate to conduct research, education and workshops, development, and workforce development and technology transfer. The UTC program is administered by the US DOT Office of the Assistant Secretary of Technology and Research. For more information about UTRC, I encourage you to visit our website at www.utrc2.org. And I'm sure there's a lot of information about UTRC, also the link on your program. This is our fourth annual Transportation Technology Symposium, or Transport Tech Summit. Thank you all for a positive response to the call for presentation that was sent a few months ago. We received a tremendous response to the call. Approximately 30 presentations will be presented today. There are 24 lectern presentation and 6 poster presentations. Please make sure to visit the poster as outstanding projects are displayed, and you can see it, they're all in the wall at the lobby. As we look at your program, the organizing committee has worked very hard to group the presentation by topic area. The topic cover innovative solutions for traffic management, GPS, smartphone, mobility, safety, privacy, data analysis, simulation, okay, all going to be presented. And share mobility, especially the last session that you should stick around to attend, to be there. I can just say that the transportation sector is really in the midst of a technological revolution, from connected vehicles to autonomous vehicles, from car share to ride share, use of electric vehicles, use of real-time data to improve traffic flow and provide mobility solutions. Transportation technology is the path to the smart city initiatives. We are very pleased that we are and will be joined today by many distinguished speakers. Rory Agarwal, Chief Policy Officer of Sarwar Lab, will join us in the afternoon. I would like to acknowledge the sponsorship of BYD Motors. BYD Generalist contribution has made it possible to hold this event. I would like to thank my colleague of the organizing committee for the great job that they did and plan and organize the symposium, and all the presenters and session moderators for accepting to participate and share their ideas with us today. Matt Doss, Nadia Aslan, Penny Eichelmeier, Professor Homyo Gong of Hunter College, and Dr. Marta Panero of NYC, and all the UCHC and students who are currently manning the event. A very special thank goes to Nadia Aslam, who has been the real force in coordinating and executing the program. Please join me to give them all a warm round of applause. With this, let me end my remarks and wish you well a very lively exchange of ideas regarding transportation technology and innovative mobility solutions. I wish all of us, a stimulating and productive symposium. Matt will be the master of ceremony and he's going to take over now.
Okay, all right. Good morning, everybody. Well, first of all, thanks for coming. Such a great turnout for a rainy day with all those cars and congestion and everything out there. It's been a wild week, as we all know. So I think the theme of our conference is to bring us all together. And that's when I try to explain, this is, I think, our fourth year doing this, and it keeps getting bigger every year. And I think it's important that what I tell other people when I explain it that we talk about right now, which is it's very rare that you could have this wonderful consortium and independent group of people that come together to talk about the future and what's going on now. This is a combination of a TRB type of scenario. We have papers, we have posters, but we also, what I think is unique about these conferences that we do, is we bring together the private sector, people with new ideas and existing products. We bring together people not just from the region, but beyond the region, at all levels of government, state, federal, local, and not just the rank and file, but the administrators. And last but not least, my favorite of all, the academics. Many who write papers and who teach students, and of course the students attend. And they network and they meet people. So we're very happy that this event continues to grow. I want to thank, of course, my friends at the center, Camille, Buzz, Nadia, and the entire staff, but also the organizing committee. Marta and Hongmyeon have been there from day one. This started as just a small thing that we did at Baruch, and now it's grown to this event that we do every year, and we hope to do it for many, many years to come. In terms of bringing things together, we've spoken in the past about data and technology and how it's bringing, different modes together. I think that's happening at lightning speed. In fact, we're thinking of modes that we never thought about before. And this conference, we had to actually retool some of the topics the way we used to rephrase them in the last few years to accommodate things like drones and no hands, I'm driving without a driver, autonomous vehicles, a lot of these, and ferries. We've never talked about ferries before. So it's taking on a life of its own. And today, in addition to the topics of traffic management and mobility, we're covering two new topics which we haven't spent that much time on before. And that is these outlying modes, like drones and how they can be used for traffic management, like ferries and interconnecting systems, and the topic of shared mobility, which has become an increasingly newly used term to deal with the inevitable, which is that transportation is taking on a more prominent role in smart cities and urban planning because there are more and more people being born, of course. We have exponential growth still. People are still being born around the country and around the world, and everybody is moving to cities. And in 2030 and beyond, maybe even before that, we're going to have most people on this planet living in cities, and people, thankfully, are living longer. Thanks to advances in technology and some good medicines that are out there, that help with our pain as we start getting arthritis. When people are living and working into their 60s, their 70s, their 80s, and they want to not go to retirement homes, a lot of them like to go and live in cities. So we need to plan for the future. You'll see that there's this thing called smart cities, and all of these entities, private and public, that are doing planning that focus on transportation as a critical component. The more people that live in a smaller space, the more problems we have getting around. We have forces that have gone against the personal motor vehicle and encourage mass transit and sharing, and we have forces, unfortunately, that are going the other direction. But the bigger issue is this conference is going to be focusing on not just the latest trends and research in technology within specific modes, but we chose papers at the organizing committee that show an interconnectedness between the modes and the ability to share rides. That's why in the afternoon we're going to be focusing on shared rides in the last session. We're going to have the National Shared Mobility Center representatives here, and we're going to have people talking about how that is not just the future, but it's been happening now. And also, I believe that one of the afternoon sessions and one of the themes that run through everything that we're discussing today is the underserved, the issue of equity. When sustainability started out as a concept many years ago, which people kind of thought it was just about the environment, now it's about serving transportation deserts. Now it's about serving people who are of low income and cannot meet or afford transportation. As we know, transportation has always been subsidized, and we haven't reached the same levels that we have since World War II. You know, we're still grappling to get people to share. We have all these new modes appearing, and we have microtransit, but the issue of people in wheelchairs and people who are mobility challenged is going to be a recurring theme of this conference. So the papers were chosen with these subtopics in mind. And, you know, of course, I want to, again, thank the sponsors, you know, not just NYIT, of course, and Dean Nada Need and Marta and the entire staff here has been incredibly supportive, not just of this event, but pretty much every event that we do at UTRC. Build Your Dreams, BYD, who've sponsored and spoken in the past, the Forum of Windell's Marks, the International Association of Transport Regulators. All of these groups have worked to make this conference happen. And basically the program, if you take a look at it, we're gonna make announcements as we go along, but we have less breakouts this year. We have 2 breakouts, so people will have to make less tough choices. We're pleased that at 3 p.m. I would encourage you, wherever you are, to return here at 3 because it's going to be a great keynote speech. We have our good friend Rit, who teaches at Columbia and is the architect of Plan YC, but is now with Google's spinoff called Sidewalk Labs, which is coming up with innovative solutions for cities and analyzing and crunching data. And I think you're going to find his keynote speech very, very interesting. He's going to talk about the past, the present, the future, and then we're going to top it off with a really good policy discussion on shared mobility. What's nice about this conference is we combine the pragmatic, the academic with the policy, which you often don't see happen these days.